attach it. So yeah. So hello, if you're just tuning in this VOD, welcome. Very excited to have you here. Yeah, so for this replay, we're going to see a 1300 Elo Tristana game, where the viewer thought they had a strong early game, but struggled to really make much happen in the mid and late game, and ultimately ended up losing. So I'm hoping I can help them understand their mistakes throughout that period of the game, and help them, understand that. So one thing I did want to say before we really get started is first, I need more replays. Please submit me replays. Go to my website at rocklockgalooly.com and click the Submit a Replay tab to learn more about how you can do that. I definitely need more. Please send them in. I would love if you'd send me in spectator mode replays as well. In Law Recorder, if you click the little gear icon in the top right, I can actually pull mine up to help show you that. If you click this little gear icon, and then you go record spectator replays, you can definitely, actually, it didn't look like that popped up on the stream. But anyway, you click the little gear icon up here, and then there's a record spectator replays option, and that would be sweet, because then I could have all the spectator mode tools to play with. So there's that. Now, the other thing is, I've fully updated my site. All the VODs are updated, YouTube channel's updated, all that. I'm sorry I've been slacking on that. Hopefully I can invest a lot more time into this in the next few weeks. And then I get married, so there'll be like 2 weeks where I'm MIA. And then I'll come back and invest a lot more time in it again. So there's that. But other than that, one thing, if you do submit a replay to me, please make sure that you have attached or linked the replay. I got really excited because I thought I could do an Oriana game today, but the viewer did not attach the replay. So make sure, if you submit me a replay, you actually link or attach the replay, because it's actually really common for people to totally space that. It's like probably every third replay request I get sent in, they didn't even attach it. So alright, boring updates aside, let's just go ahead and jump right into this one. So this is a 1300 Elo Tristana game that we're going to be reviewing. So we have the Buccaneer Tristana skin. So Tristana Sona is kind of a scary early lane. They are very strong. Looks like the lane you're going to be against is going to be Caitlyn Lulu. So Caitlyn Lulu is a lane that's going to output a ton of harass. They're going to be very poke, very harass heavy. And ideally, if you can actually catch them and commit to a fight, you're probably going to go out ahead of that, especially at like level 2 or even level 1. If you just rocket jump on them when Sona, power chord right clicks them at level 1, that's going to be a ton of damage output. It's going to be really strong. So I'm not sure quite what your team is doing here. So anytime you're looking to invade, you kind of want to eyeball what team has more CC in essence. CC is king of level 1 fights. And the reason why is, at level 1, each character only has one ability, and that ability probably does as much damage as an auto attack. Like, your rocket jump does 70 damage, but your auto attacks do 60. It's about the same. So CC is very strong because typically the CC will still do damage, but it'll hold them down and allow them to get auto attacked more, because auto attacks are what win a level 1 fight. So first thing to know is that you left really late here. Anytime that you're helping your team invade or protect their jungle, you always want to recall at 130. Recalling at 130 will let you get back to your lane in time. And the other thing is that you had enough HP or gold to buy another potion. You're already in the base, and you could have bought another potion. Just wouldn't have wasted any time. You could have started moving and then bought the potion. Wouldn't have wasted any time. You just would have come back to lane with an extra potion. So just a small advantage there that you missed out on. But anyway. Always want to recall at 130 if you're helping your team invade for whatever reason. So, so Lee Sin taking the enemy red. That's good. Anyway, I'm just gonna focus on you. I'm not gonna really care about what your team does this game. So you don't have to be so afraid here that you're getting zoned. You can try to get a last hit and just see how aggressive they play. You always want to try to get a feel for how your opponent ends up playing. Yeah, so good aggression there. That's good, trading that damage onto the Lulu. The other thing is, like, you don't want to let Lulu sit in that brush right there, so you're allowing her to have brush control. You can just walk in that brush and force her out, because she's not going to be able to 1v1 you. So now that Son is there, she'll help you get that brush control. But brush control is very important, especially in bottom lane. You definitely don't want to let the enemy support sit in that brush really close to you. So now that this Caitlyn is like pretty low. This Caitlyn is low enough that if you jump on her with Sona close to you, you can kill her. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is on Tristana, you should really consider taking Ignite. It's very strong on Tristana because her early game abilities do so much burst damage. It's really easy to pick up some kills. So just something to consider that your Sona unfortunately is playing like super passive. She's had this power cord up but is not using it, and I don't know why. She's also almost a level behind, so that doesn't help. But you can afford to be much more aggressive in this lane. Anytime you go into lane, you want to try to get a feel for how your lane opponent is playing. So first off, this Caitlyn's playing very passive. If you notice, she's right-clicked you about once. And as Caitlyn, that's pretty bad. So Caitlyn's biggest strength is her auto attack range and being able to right-click you for free. So if you see that someone is playing Caitlyn like this, they're not playing Caitlyn correctly, and you can probably bully her. Because if Caitlyn's not bullying you, then Caitlyn's not playing Caitlyn correctly. So like, see how low this Caitlyn is? You can jump in on that, like, once that power cord goes out, and you could probably do some big damage, possibly even kill Caitlyn. If you had Ignite, you could definitely kill her right now. The other thing is that when she gets low and you see her potion, you want to try to get your E on her, because that will reduce the healing effects of that potion and make it much stronger. So, just another small optimization for you. The other thing is you should communicate with your jungle. Since Lulu started Regrowth Pendant, she may or may not have started with any more wards at once, so they might not have any wards here, but that's something you can pay attention to right at the start of the game. I can't remember if you can start Regrowth Pendant in 2 wards. I don't, with support masteries, I'm really not sure on that. For some reason, I'm totally blanking on that, but it's not a start I ever do on support, so I just don't know. But your CS is not bad. 20 is okay. Caitlyn is out CSing you, but it's not horrible. Now you should be pinging this and letting Sona know that you want to be aggressive, because these people are killable for you. If you land a rocket jump, you're gonna force summoners at the very least. Like right there, you need to be jumping. Like jump on this Caitlyn. You're playing so passive. That Caitlyn should be dead right now. You just have to jump E and get 2 auto attacks and she'll die. She had 250 HP there. Your jump does 115. Your E does 140, and just right there, that would kill Caitlyn. And then 2 auto attacks to seal the deal. I mean, that doesn't take into account MR and all that fun stuff. But so, like, you should jump on this Lulu and she's dead. There you go. There's a good jump. Good. So your E does pick that up. So that was good. That was good. You should just pot up immediately. So you healed, but you weren't actually in range to heal Sona. That might have been able to save the Sona, but wow, Lee Sin would have died there. But so very aggressive, like Caitlyn flash there to pick up the Sona kill, but she ends up dying for that. Make sure to push this lane out really hard before they get back. So like I would rocket jump and push this lane out, because you want this wave to hit their turret as fast as possible so that all these minions die before they get back. So this is a slight mistake in your play here. You should have rocket jumped and pushed this lane out really fast. You could have already had this fully hit to the turret and already been back to base. So but overall, you know, that wasn't bad play by any means. So nice job there. So you have 2 Doran's Blade, and you're gonna pick up Advanced up to 2. That's a solid buy. Very decent buy. If you wanted to forgo the Vamp Scepter, you could probably get away with it with the Sona support. But it's always helpful, especially against something like Lulu Caitlyn. If they start playing correctly, they're gonna be harassing you a lot. So that's always a really good buy if you have enough for your first back to get 2 Doran's Blades and a Vamp Scepter. Very solid buy. So. Wow, you're earning a lot of armor pen. So once again, Lulu's in this brush. Just walk into that brush and fight her, because she's gonna lose that fight so hard to you. And don't let her, like, if you just walked in that brush, you would have gotten tons of free damage on that Lulu before Caitlyn could come help her. Once again, she's in this brush. Like, you don't want to let her have control of that brush. So. Oh, the other thing is, I didn't see if you had enough. I think you had enough to buy a ward. If you waited a little bit, you would have had enough to buy a ward, and that's always a good idea, you know. Yes, supports typically buy wards, but you see Sona got her Philo Stone, so she didn't have enough to buy any more wards, so you could have helped her out, possibly bought a ward there. Could have, like, maybe sold a health potion to pick up that ward, but just something to note, especially that first back. A lot of times supports will have this awkward amount where it's just enough for their first gold per 10 item, but they can't get any more wards. So it's really good if the AD carry has stuff left over to help them out and buy some wards. So you're 6 before they are. You can be so aggressive here. Like you can just jump on them and fight them right now. Because you have that ulti, and that ulti is going to be huge, especially before Lulu is 6. You probably want to try to make a play before Lulu is 6 here. Like if you jumped on that Lulu, oh go. So here's the thing: when Karthus ults, you go. So very slow rocket jump. You could have just double killed them. As soon as you saw Karthus ult channel, you needed to just go. Okay, so it looks like just jump on that Kate and ult her, because you'll kill her. There you go. So there you go. A little sloppy by you. That could have gone a lot smoother if you were just a little faster to react to the Karthus ult and just jumped on them immediately. But you know, you still picked up the double kill, so not much to complain about. But definitely a decent play by you. But yeah, it's sloppy. You could have jumped on them early, and you wouldn't have had to flash. You wouldn't have had to dive that tower. You would have just killed them already. So just work on those reactions. You know, as soon as you saw that pink laser beam in the sky, you should have just been jumping on them. Because that's so much damage dropping down on your lane, and you already could afford to be aggressive because Lulu was not level 6 yet. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so good. You picked up 1 ward there. So once again, this Lulu is going to be sitting in this brush. You don't want to let her sit in there. You can just walk in here and hit the crap out of her. Because Caitlyn's really far away. Caitlyn's not going to help her in time. So you should just go in there and fight this Lulu. Because she's not going to be able to trade with you. Especially if you just throw a fat E on her and then just get some auto attack. So that ward, well, I guess Sona has 1 ward, but that ward I don't think is necessary. Because A, it looks like their lane might be pushing out, but B, like, Lulu is not that scary to be sitting in a brush like that. It's not like a Blitzcrank or a Taric or something, where if you let them have that brush control, you can get full zoned for it. And like I said, they were pushing out, so. Good job last hitting of that turret, only missing 1 there is pretty solid. But you see, you're still behind Caitlyn on CS, even though you've killed her twice. So that shouldn't happen. You're missing CS. I don't know where, but the other thing is that you should be communicating with your Sona. Start like pinging and being like, Sona, let's be aggressive. Just get it in her mind that you want to be aggressive, because right now you need to be super aggressive. You have a big advantage. Your lane, if Sona lands an ulti, you can just kill whoever you want. You can afford to be super aggressive in this lane, but you need to communicate that with your lane partner. So. You need to note that, well, I thought that ward was about to die, but... Oh, Sona should just ulti that. Oh, I see, Sona just rewarded. So if Sona ultied that, you would have been able to pick up kills, no problem. And like I said, that's just something where you can ping and tell Sona, just like, tell Sona to be really aggressive, because if she knew in her mind that to be aggressive, she might have ultied that, and then you would have been able to pick up some kills. Looks like Cat trying to get a gank for you, but good job to react to that Cat gank. Pezzy's saying, make her your bitch. In other words, yeah. When you're Tristana and you get an advantage like this in the lane, oh, don't jump on traps. That trap was right there the whole time. You gotta watch that, because you don't want to jump right on a trap. Sona missed her ult too, which is a sad day. But, yeah, when you get an advantage at this point in the game as Tristana, you can really punish people for it, because Trist is so strong at this point in the game. Her abilities just do so much damage. Lee Sin doing work here. So good kill by you, good dive. You guys should immediately look to go pick up Dragon. And that's something you can lead your team to go do. You can just start pinging Dragon. Tell Karthus to come. You're low mana, and looks like you're actually getting ganked, but... yeah, you guys can fight this, like... there you go. You might want to heal right now before an Ignite comes down on that Lee Sin. Oh, you don't want to face tank Katarina either, though. But, yeah, so your heal was late, like the perfect time to heal is like obviously like when you know that you're about to commit to a fight, but before they can apply their healing debuffs, like Katarina's special daggers or an ignite. So that would be the best time to heal. So that heal came out late. It might have given Lee Sin enough health to fight that. It's hard to say. And you are also out of mana, but so I mean that you could have definitely done that better. That was a 3v2 and you guys got wrecked. You just didn't keep your distance from that Katarina. I mean, I understand she shumpoed, but like you don't want to bunch against Katarina, and you guys all bunched really tight. And so Katarina was just able to get like full channel ult off on all three of you, and you know you never want to let a cat do that. But once again, you need to be communicating with your support in some way. Just let her know if you want to play aggressive. You know, let her know. And I think you guys should still be playing aggressive. You're not quite at that awkward mid game phase where Tristana is like her abilities don't do very much damage anymore, but she's not doing much with her auto attacks yet. And like that's a really awkward time for Tristana, but. So one thing to note about how the game is going is Katarina's getting fed, which shouldn't concern you too much because when come team fights, you can just save your ultimate for Katarina, and when she shumpos on you and starts ulting, you just blow her back. And like you shouldn't be that scared of Katarina as Tristana, because you're going to be able to interrupt that ulti really super easy with your ulti. So it looks like you're a little scared now and you're playing a lot more passive, which I don't necessarily agree with. I still think that you have an advantage. I guess you don't really have an item advantage on Caitlyn anymore. Never mind. So I thought that you'd have a big item advantage on Caitlyn, but you really don't. So. Oh, you're getting 4-man ganked. You need to run. Sona's not paying attention. This is going to be rough for her. You should probably just, I was going to say, you should probably try to ult that cat out, so it was good by you. So real manly for you to go in on that, but I think that's going to end up being a mistake because it's a 4-man tower dive. It's going to be really hard for you to do much there, but... Yeah, Karthus just has no lane control right now, so Katarina is able to roam bottom a lot, and unfortunately that's just what's happening. Karthus needs to be really pushing a lot harder or following Katarina on those ganks, and he's doing neither, so it's unfortunate. But yeah, so the biggest thing in your game so far is you need to understand like when you can be aggressive. You're playing way too passive when you have an advantage and can't be aggressive. The other thing is like in solo queue, it's important to communicate with your support partner and just simple things like play aggressive, play passive, just so that you're in general on the same page. And that's so important on bottom lane to just be on the same page. And so you just need to get a feel for your partner, and if they're not playing how you want them to play, then just mention something. So, the other thing is, like, you need to CS better while you're being aggressive, because there's no reason that Caitlyn should have, like, only 5 less CS than you. Oh, that Karthus flash. So this Karthus is not exactly having a good game. So, I see that you bought this crit cloak. I think you should have saved for a BF sword. And the reason why is now you're full on item slots without your BF sword. So you're either waiting a lot of gold to finish that eye edge, you're either waiting 2,000 gold before you get any stronger to finish that eye edge, or you're already selling a Doran's Blade. So I much prefer to pick up that, to just save for the BF sword in general for the first item, not even pick up, sometimes pick up the pickaxe if you feel you need it. But in general, you know, I would recommend trying to save up for that BF sword, because now you're in a bad position where you're either waiting 2,000 gold or selling an item, you know, not even 20 minutes into the game. So But yeah, I'd strongly encourage you just talk to your laning partner. That's one of the biggest things. Just be like, hey, let's be aggressive, or just like, you know, just try to establish some communication so that you can get on the same page. But at this point, you're kind of hitting that awkward mid game phase. Where you're not gonna really, like, at level 6, you can almost completely burst someone down. Yeah, he did max his E, which is okay. I like maxing W and E together. You don't always have to put 5 points in E. You can start putting points in rapid fire about now, but in general, I like leveling W over E in preference, but W and E are good to max in lane just for the ridiculous damage. Like, that Caitlyn is so low you could burst her down if you can get it before Lulu procs wild growth. 760 HP, and you're gonna do. Oh, you're not level 11 yet. Never mind. Once you're level 11, you can probably maybe burst that Caitlyn down. Oh, nice crit there, big crit. Especially if you had your Sona, but your Sona left for some reason, so. But anyway, this is one of those situations where you want to communicate with your partner and be like, hey, Kate's low, try to ult her. That's all you have to say, and then if the ult happens, you know, you're ready to follow up on that and get an easy kill, so. Yeah, I already did talk about taking Ignite instead of heal on Tristana. It's definitely my preferred summoner spell on Tristana. Oh, like, if Sona ulted right there, you guys would have gotten double kill. She needs, like, you need to talk to her and be like, Sona, be more aggressive. Like, if you ulted right there, we would have gotten a kill. That's all you have to say. You just be like, be more aggressive. If you ult there, we get double kill. Katarina's coming down, so you have to be careful about that. But Lee Sin is here, so you can actually bait that. Lee Sin is there and Karthus is approaching, so you can actually bait this. They probably just saw Lee Sin, though. It's hard to say, maybe, because Katarina looks like she still might be coming down. They definitely see Lee Sin. Looks like there's 2 people mid, so they're applying a lot of pressure in the mid lane, which is good because that means you guys can put a lot of pressure here without fear of a Nautilus or Katarina gank. So, and once again, like, just communicate with your support. Be like, Sona, let's be really aggressive, and it's just really necessary. This is, like, I can tell you guys are like, Sona's playing way too passive, and you're just like going along with the ride, but you don't want to. If you have an advantage in lane, you know, you want to snowball that advantage. Yeah, you go on that, Karthus all just came down, look how low they got. If you just jumped on them, you could have just jumped E'd that Caitlyn, she would have died. You need to understand that when Karthus ults, like, that's the best time to make a play happen in your lane, because you just got, like, 400 free damage on both people, so. So that's twice now that, like, you didn't react to Karthus very well, and you would have definitely gotten 1 kill if not 2 if you just reacted to that kill better. And yeah, see, this is what I was talking about with the awkward amount. Now you're forced to sell that D-Blade already. I mean, you get your eye edge, so that's good, but still, you never want to sell an item unless you really have to. So. But a 21-minute eye edge is definitely not bad. You'll have a big item advantage on Caitlyn now, so now you're much stronger than Caitlyn. So until she finishes her eye edge or whatever BF item she is building, looks like it might be a Black Cleaver or something, or an eye edge. It's hard to say, but yeah, you can just fight her. Since like we haven't seen Lulu, you should just be fighting her. I mean, there's Lulu. So you could have backed off once you saw Lulu, but still. She also doesn't have Vamp Scepter is the thing, so like you're gonna just destroy her in a duel. So you should be pinging until Sona just go ult them, because you have this big item advantage with Infinity Edge, and you need to take advantage of that. Like, they cannot fight you. Like, look at that crit, you just chunked her. So there you go. You do need wards up, though, to be aggressive out here. Right here, you can be aggressive pretty safely without wards, but... D-Blade sounds like D-Bag. No. But... you really, like, you guys need to be so much more aggressive with this advantage that you have, and you're not. The Sona plays so passively. You need to try to talk to her. Like, look how much damage you do. The 405 damage crit. Like, you just crit Lulu for as much as Karthus ult hits her. Now, you can probably just kill this guy, honestly. If Sona just ults him, he would be die. Uh-oh, Katarina. You might want to fly. Alter. That Sona ult came out so late. But you need to do something before Nautilus hooked you. You could have flashed. If you flashed before his Nautilus ult knocked you up, you would have created more distance. You would have been about here. You would have been out of the knockup by the time that Katarina got to you. And so you could have ulted Katarina away and easily lived in that situation. So Flash is almost always best used early. Flash is almost always best used as like an, oh shit, this is bad, I'm gonna flash right away. It's not like a, this could be bad, let me wait and see and then flash. So as soon as that Nautilus ult popped up on you, as soon as you saw yourself being targeted by the Nautilus ult, you should have flashed back further into the turret. That would have created distance. You would have been far enough away Nautilus couldn't follow up with a hook. You would have been far enough away that you would have been knocked up by the time Cat got onto you, so you could have ulted her away right away, and etc. So just definitely always flash early, and that's something that a lot of players do. I see like lower elos and stuff. A lot of people hold on to that flash for like as long as possible. But if you watch high elo games, a lot of people will be they don't have a silence on their team, so he didn't get silenced, but he might have gotten polymorphed by Lulu, I'm not sure, but he got CC chained. So what happened there is he got CC chained following up on the Nautilus ult really hard. And if you flashed before the Nautilus, while the Nautilus ult was traveling to you, you would have been far enough away that they couldn't all follow up on the CC chain. Oh, Lulu. But yeah, you definitely got CC chained. Wait, does Lulu silence? I don't even remember what Lulu does, honestly. I played her once. I like don't see Lulu in any of my games anymore. Real quick trip to the wiki. No, Lulu. She has a polymorph, but she doesn't have a silence. She might have been morphed by Lulu. Oh, sorry, that bell horn sound is for IRC. I made a sound to alert me when someone says something in IRC because I never pay attention. So sorry if that's annoying to you guys. I can turn it off for the stream. I can turn it off while I'm streaming, so. My bad on that part. But anyway, yeah, so that fight, you needed to flash early. Because not flashing to create distance just caused you to get completely CC chained. But yeah, Lulu does not have a silence. You crazy. The only hard CC she has is a her polymorph and the knockup on her. Or it's not even a knockup anymore, is it? Maybe it is a knockup. It used to be like a pushback and now it's a knockup, or did it used to be a knockup and now it's a pushback? I can't remember. Anyway. Yeah, so Caitlyn has Infinity Edge now, so you no longer have that big item advantage. I don't know how I feel about this green pot. I don't like that very much. You could have gone back in, like, with Sona there. With Sona ulti. If Sona ultied, you could have just killed them. Instead of rocket jumping away. But, I guess that's a safe play. But, in general, your play is very safe and passive when it could be... You're missing on a lot of kills by defaulting to being very safe and passive. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this green elixir. I don't think it was necessary, and I don't think it's worth the money at this point in the game. Alright, so that's a dead Lulu. Big crits coming out. You got another rocket jump. Don't jump in though. Don't jump in, because you'll just die. So, no reason to back off there. You could have just kept auto-attacking Nautilus. You kind of backed off like you got really scared, but... So you just want to hit the turret right here. Don't worry about hitting champions. You're just, as an AD carry, in this situation, you just push the hell out of the turret. That's what you let everyone else be concerned with, poking and all that fun stuff. You just, all you're focused on is obliterating that turret. In a siege like this, that's the AD carry's job. It's not to harass them, it's not to poke them, it's not to try to kill someone. It's just to hit the shit out of that turret. So that's what you should be doing here. Oh, you're actually piecing out while your team is sieging? I guess you wanted to go get this farm, which is fine, but like your team is not backing, and I'm not really sure why you left your team. I guess you want to just start this bottom lane pushing out, and that's fine. Like your team still got the turret, but that's still really scary because if the enemy team noticed that you were gone in time, they could have just initiated on your team there in a 4v5 situation, and that would have been really bad for you. So that was scary that you just pieced out and left your team like that. So, but at this point, like your attack range is huge, 667. So your attack range is officially longer than Caitlyn's at this point. So you are now the longest range AD carry in the game. So you definitely need to take advantage of that. But yeah, you still need to farm up. This is you're kind of at the tail end of Tristana's awkward mid game here. Once you get that Phantom Dancer, you're going to be strong. And then once you get that Last Whisper, you're just going to melt through everyone. So Last Whisper should definitely be the item you get after this Phantom Dancer. So you should look to go help your team out here. Looks like they're fighting without you, and it's probably not going to end well. So very silly of your team to fight without you. Karthus just messed up huge. He started channeling his ulti before he died, which is just always a huge mistake. You want to be really careful here, because Katarina's here. Good kill on that Katarina, and you should be able to get away. So good play there. Very silly, that Katarina. You might be able to fight these guys if you can bait them into a bad turret dive or something. That Nasus... oh, don't get hooked though. Definitely don't want to get hooked. That's another thing that you could have flashed. Yeah, like you're going to die to Caitlyn ult regardless. So that's another thing. You need to flash early. Once again, you held onto your flash way too long, and it doesn't matter. So, like you need to have the reaction time to either dodge that Nautilus hook or flash it, or flash right after the hook or something. Like flash and rocket jump immediately after that hook. Hopefully fast enough so you don't get Nasus withered or something. But yeah, so one thing you can do is if your team like insists on fighting without you, don't leave your team. Is always an idea. So your team should definitely not fight without you. It's definitely a bad idea for them to fight without you. But if your team insists on fighting, you have to stay with them, or else you're just going to lose this game. So that's one thing. Yeah, someone else was saying you can pick up a QSS for Nasus Wither. I don't think the QSS would quite be worth it because really the only CC that you could QSS is that slow. And I guess Nautilus's tiny snare, but like depending on your reaction times, it probably wouldn't even help against that snare. So that was a really good Lee Sin kick on 3 people. Sun ult coming out so late. But yeah, you guys need to fight this. I don't know why Karthus is running. You can't melee. You can't be in melee range of Nasus like that though. Like you have to stay in maximum range. Okay, so already I can tell that you're not attack moving, just by how your team fighting. Like you need to juke that hook. So all right, big thing here mechanically as an AD carry. In that situation, you need to be using attack move. And if you don't know what that is or how to use it properly, I wrote a guide on it. You can see it on my website. It's the only guide I've listed. If you go to rockalockalili.com and then in the guide. No, QSS does not cancel not all at all. But, so, I can tell you not attack moving. So what happens here is like, this is perfect. Right here in this fight, you go into attack. You get too close and panic and run away. And I can tell what you're doing right there is you're only right-clicking. So you went in to right-click on them, you missed Nasus or whatever, and you right-click the ground, you moved too close, and you panicked and ran away. This is where you have to be using attack move. So if you're using attack move, you would attack move this way. You'd like try to attack move on that Nasus or whatever. And even if you misclick because he moves or whatever, you're only going to go far enough to your maximum attack range to attack him. And then you'll just attack him and you won't move any closer. So that whole fight, you could have gotten probably 4 to 5 auto attacks just playing how you did if you're just auto attack, if you're just attack moving. So you have to understand how to do that as an AD carry. The other thing is you can't get that close to Nasus. You sat there and auto attack the Katarina, but let yourself get in melee range of Nasus. You have to stay very far away. So just a couple things there. Like you have ridiculously high range right now, almost 700. Oh yeah, it's 0 death spawner because since I paused it, things got messed up. But this is why I don't like pausing in LoL replay. This is 1300 elo. Your CS is definitely not bad. 207. It's not bad by any means. But you know, you could always work on CSing. So there are a lot of CS that you missed early. This is dangerous for you. You should start pinging for your team to back right here, because this is like super dangerous. Actually, they're gonna be able to just get the kill. I said it was super dangerous because they don't know where any other team is at all. You have no vision on the map at all, and so like I thought they would all be coming in to help Nasus right away. But that's like a free Baron for you guys. You should be pinging Baron and say go Baron, because we just saw Caitlyn bottom. So Caitlyn's bottom, and you just killed Nasus. That's a totally free Baron for you guys if you recognize that and get your team to go there. So yeah, you need to start staying with your team because they've made it quite clear that they're just gonna fight without you, and so you definitely need to start staying with your team. Just hit this Nautilus. Yeah, there you go. As AD carry, you just hit whoever is closest to you. Really as an AD carry, you want to reevaluate every single auto attack before you fire it for the best target. Like a general safe rule of thumb is hit whoever's closest to you, especially once you have Last Whisper. You're just gonna melt everyone. So. Get your team to go there isn't normally the problem. At least in every single replay I've ever reviewed, the problem isn't getting your team to go there. The problem is actually recognizing that it's a good time to Baron. Because it's really like, if you right there pinged Baron, told your team to Baron, and just typed Nasus dead, Kate bot, they 100% would have gone. Because it doesn't matter how bad or what elo you're at, it's really, like, people can count. Everyone can count. And everyone can count, hey, it's 5v3. Let's do Baron. Like, I've never ever seen a game where an obvious Baron chance like that, a team didn't react to it. So, I've seen games where teams argue and say we should push instead of Baron or something like that. But go help your Karthus. Alright. So this is bad. You guys can't be tower diving. You should heal right now? No, you didn't heal. Your heal didn't save the Lee Sin. That's so no. Wow. This is bad. The other thing, once again, no auto attack right there because you went in with the right click. You can be kiting as you run away here with attack move, and you can be kiting. So how you can be kiting is you can attack move the ground, and then you'll attack right when Nasus gets in range, and then you immediately right click away. His slow is on cooldown. He had just withered someone. Don't listen to your team. You don't go for the other AD carry as an AD carry. AD carry essentially is a tank killer. That's pretty much their job. Essentially an AD carry is a tank killer. Yeah, that's something beeping is IRC. Sorry. Sorry about that. You can't, yeah, rocket jump on top of their AD and then immediately die. Tristana, you never ever use your rocket jump on to be aggressive at this point in the game. You only use rocket jump offensively at the very early stages of the game, After that, you only use it to reposition and to pick, and after you've won a team fight, to pick up stragglers with the slow. So your team has had 3 fights now where they've just overextended and otherwise team fought very poorly, and you've had rather poor positioning in all of those fights. You can't pretty much how to determine if you're team fighting well as an AD carry, just count how many auto attacks you're getting off in a fight. The more auto attacks you're getting off in a fight, the more you're doing your job. It doesn't even matter who you're hitting, as long as you're getting auto attacks off. And that's pretty much how you count your positioning as an AD carry. Yeah, you desperately need that last whisper though. You need to jump away. Alright, once again, slow reactions to that Nautilus ult. And in fact, that's probably going to be game for your team. Because you just got caught really, really bad by that Nautilus ult. And the worst part is you could have easily survived that. You could joke in IRC. It's not serious business. But you can't, like... The first thing is, this is, so I'm actually going to pause to talk about this. Well, let's see if Nidalee can pick up some kills. Oh, she doesn't get the Nautilus. What? Okay. What is she doing? Just kill the Nautilus. Oh my god. Okay, she should be able to get Nautilus. Oh, the hook. The hook. It's okay, red buff slow. Anyway, okay, let me pause this. So, okay. One of the reasons why I say Ezreal has by far the best mobility of any AD carry is because his mobility skill, his E, is an instant cast. And why that's important is something we just saw there. You were slow to react to the fact that Nautilus ulted you. Nautilus put his ult on you, and you waited about, I don't know, maybe half a second to 1 second before you started rocket jumping away. So that ult knocked you up in mid-air with that rocket jump. And that's one of the reasons why I say Ezreal has the highest mobility. Because something like that, it's not going to happen to Ezreal, but it'll happen to Tristana, it'll happen to Caitlyn, it'll happen to Valkyrie. All of those ADs, they'll get knocked up or interrupted in the middle of their escape mechanism. But Ezreal won't. But, so in that situation, if you react too slow to that, and you're going to get knocked up in your ult, you should have flashed instead. Your flash was up. So you can flash, and then if you still don't feel safe just by the flash distance, that gives you the time to rocket jump. Because that ult has to travel. So no reason for you to die at all there. That was poor mechanical play by you. And if you had lived in that fight, you would have easily won that team fight. So... Just sloppy mechanical play there. You can't get caught by Nautilus ultimate like that. And there's no reason to when you have both flash and rocket jump up. But you desperately need Last Whisper at this point. NASA's rocking Frozen Heart, Nautilus rocking Randuin's. You really, 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 really need that Last Whisper. And this is why I don't like the fact that you got 1 to 2 green pots. I don't remember if you got 2. I know you got 1. But I noticed you still had the buff like a long time later, and I thought maybe you bought a second one. But if you've bought 2, that's delayed your Last Whisper by 500 gold. So just something to keep in mind. Like if you hadn't bought 2 green pots, you would have essentially had your Last Whisper. You could just go do those races and have it right now. So that's why I really, really, really don't like getting elixirs that early in the game, because the 3, you know, the holy 3 for AD carry, Eye Edge, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper are just so important. You have to get them. And this is something where you can communicate with your team. This is something I like doing when I'm playing. Just communicate, be like 400 gold from Last Whisper, and so hopefully then they let you get the form. If they don't, whatever, but hopefully they do. This is if you reveal yourself down here, you're gonna cost your team this Baron. Because if the enemy team is smart and they see you bottom, they're just going to go do that Baron, force a 4v5 fight, or get the Baron. So, good for you to not go reveal yourself, because that would have been bad. Excuse me. Yeah, so just to talk about the elixirs again. You would have your Last Whisper for this Baron contesting, but now like you can't go back to buy because you'll lose Baron if you do. They're probably doing Baron right now, and you would have Last Whisper for this fight if you didn't buy those pots, those elixirs. So So you cannot let Nasus get that close to you. So good rocket jump away. Running away from that assault is good. And then you need to get back in that fight immediately and start right-clicking people. But once again, you cannot let Nasus just walk up to you like that. So once again, just kind of poor positioning by you, right there. That's I don't like your positioning right there. And the other thing is, like, if you had Last Whisper for that fight, you would have won that fight. You would have obliterated Nasus. You would have just torn right through him, and like, that fight would have gone much better had two things happen. A, you had Last Whisper, which you would have had if you didn't buy elixirs, or at least you were more likely to have if you didn't buy elixirs. And B, your positioning your positioning was not very good in that team fight. On two separate occasions, you let Nasus just walk right up to you. So you need to work on kiting with high. You need to have high enough actions per minute to where you can right click, or well, ideally you'd want to attack move. So you attack move, get the auto attack, and then immediately cancel the animation on your auto attack and walk away as soon as that bullet leaves. So I mean, it looks something like you click a lot, it looks something like you're going to do this. Like, you're going to attack, move, click, attack, move, click, attack, move, click, attack, move, click. Like, it's going to be that fast. And you got to be comfortable doing that. So that's something you have to work on mechanically as an AD carry. And it's very important for positioning and kiting out melee champions in team fights, so. When would I recommend buying pots? Just at the end of the game after you have your 3 core items. I tend to buy them when you're having a decent number of team fights. And I would recommend buying elixirs. I wouldn't recommend buying any elixirs until after you've completed your core, whatever that may be for any hero that you're buying. So you've essentially completed your core on Tristana now. So now you can look to buying elixirs if you want. I tend to buy them only when I know that this next fight is going to determine the game. Like if Baron's about to spawn, and I know that we're gonna fight for this next Baron, and that Baron is gonna determine the game. Like if it's a really close game, I'll buy an elixir. Pretty much if I think the game is gonna end in the next 3 minutes or whatever, it has a good chance to end, then I'm gonna buy elixirs. But other than that, I really like saving the gold. So, but you have a Last Whisper now, so things are very good for you. But you need to make sure that you're able to get a lot of auto attacks off in your fight, in this fight. So. Yeah, so now you chunk Nasus. So you can see that all that damage you already put out on Nasus right there. Nautilus coming out. Good jump by you over the wall, but you need to get right back in. There you go. So now you're just melting Nautilus. Caitlyn randomly ulting you, it seems. Very good positioning by you, being able to just auto attack right over this wall. Be careful how close you get, but don't, like, you just lost 5 auto attacks by like dancing around waiting for Nasus GA. Huge mistake by you. You could have killed Cat during that time. Like, I cannot stress how much damage you just lost right there. You were in no danger at all. You are in no danger at all. Nasus his GA was popping, and you got scared because you're like waiting for Nasus to come up, and you danced around without auto attacking anyone. Cat was right here, easily able for you. You could have just killed her if you didn't do this little dance. I wish this was spectator mode so I could rewind so that you could see this again. But go back on the VOD and watch what you did, because this Nasus drops for GA, and instead of auto attacking more and cleaning up this fight, you just run away. And that's it. You just run away, and you lost probably 6 to 7 auto attacks, and that right there would have swung the fight. You could have killed Cat during that time and easily swung that fight. So, and the other thing is, like, if you can, try to interrupt that Katarina ult with your Buster shot, because that's gonna win the fight if you can. But I understand that's hard. You were really far away that whole fight, so. That fight, you had really, really good positioning, and it went really well for you until you just lost so much auto attack uptime by dancing around right here. Yeah, like you fought properly to hit Nasus. That's your job. Now that you have Lost Whisper, you can melt Nasus and Nautilus and all them, so. Anyway, I'm gonna fast forward some. Game is pretty much over. Your team is raging. It's normally the sign that a solo queue game is over. Wait, did the enemy team seriously not take Baron off that? Okay, now they're taking Baron. That's weird. That okay, so they have Baron now. This is not good. But look how much like you're perfectly safe there, and you're not auto attacking. You ult them away, and your first reaction is to back off instead of auto attack, and that's why you're not doing much in these team fights. Like you need to work on understanding when you can auto attack and when you can't. So. You were fine to auto attack, then the Nasus got on you, you did a good ult to push him away, and then you run away instead of keep auto attacking. So that ult buys you time to get more auto attacks off, and that's what you need to be doing. But yeah, so that's game. But overall, not a bad game. You definitely need to work on playing AD carry in team fights. You need to have you need to attack a move so that you can kite effectively. B, you need to work on your kiting in general. And C, you just need to work on understanding when it's safe for you to auto attack and when you have to back off, because they're two different times and you don't quite have that understanding. You're missing a lot of auto attack time by running away when you're actually safe. And the other thing is you have to flash fast. Like things like Nautilus ult, you can't wait. You have to have really fast reactions to flash or rocket jump away from that. So. Overall, not a bad game. Also, be much more aggressive early when you have an advantage. So, those are the big things I've seen. Like, in laning, you did pretty well, but be much more aggressive early when you have an advantage. Try to communicate with your support partner. In team fights, you have a lot of work to do in team fights. I'd say that's the biggest part of your game you need to fix with AD carries in general. You need to understand how and when to auto attack. So, alright, that's it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and end this recording, but not log off my stream yet. I'm going to stream for a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and end this recording. If you found this helpful, please tell all your friends and check my website at rockalockalily.com for more news and information and more VODs. The next time I'll be streaming a replay will be Friday at the same time, 11 Eastern time. So thanks a lot for watching.